And then sales management, sales force management. And these are a lot of the issues going on working with salespeople. One of the first ones, and this one gets a tremendous amount of attention, is recruitment and selection. Turnover is high in sales jobs, and sales managers are always looking to have good candidates in the pipeline. So as a sales manager, you're always out there looking for people who might be able to, so that if you do have an opening, you do have a vacancy, you've got somebody in mind rather than trying to do a search from scratch. And all kinds of different ways of recruiting. Perhaps you have been to some of the job fairs here, and there may have been sales organizations recruiting. And then this is very much like the sales prospecting. Is recruitment is identifying potential leads, and then selection is qualifying those. So I've got, people who might be interested in working for me. I want to make sure that the people that I actually hired are going to be a good fit with what I'm trying to do. It's not uncommon for sales organizations to have you do some kind of a aptitude test or personality tests. I've seen various things. It's also common to have prospective salespeople do what they call shadowing, where you might follow an existing salesperson around for a day just to get a sense as to what the career is really like. And sometimes a part of the screening process might have you do some pre-employment tasks. If there's a license or a certification, they might ask you to earn the license or certification before you're officially brought on board. The idea would be, you don't quit your day job until you have the credentials to succeed in your new position. And then once you've recruited the people, there's assimilation, which is getting the new people familiar with your culture. And we talked a little bit when we're looking for jobs how important the fit between culture and values is. So again, what's the dress code? Do people come on time? Do people are their own hours? Are you expected to be here? Just what are the unwritten rules? And I remember I was doing some interviews with sales organizations, and a classic example of assimilation was I was wearing a suit, because you always want to dress better than your customers, but that wasn't good. They were all wearing suits there too. A very formal office, and I was waiting, and one of the sales reps came in and was wearing what I thought was very professional attire. He had a nice blue blazer, khaki pants, a nice tie, a nice shirt. And then the sales manager that I was meeting with came out, looked at that person and said, "Oh, you came in your pajamas today," and then talked to me. So the idea was assimilation is, blazer and slacks, that's not what we wear here, that's pajamas. You wear a suit if you work for this organization. Again, that's how this process works. And then training. And training is a touchy issue in sales, as with any job, because it costs money to train you. And I don't want to spend money on you. I want you to earn money for me. So there's initial training, and there's a tension in sales between hiring what they call green peas and experienced salespeople. Green peas are inexperienced salespeople. And with a green pea, or with somebody who has no sales experience, the advantage is that you can train them to sell exactly the way that you want them to sell. The disadvantage is that it costs you money to train them, and then once they're trained, what's to stop somebody else from hiring them away because they are now more valuable? And the other approach is, they call it poaching, which is where you let somebody else train the salespeople and then you hire them away once the training has been completed. I remember, again, talking to, in one of these interview situations where a guy who was notorious for poaching and was not well liked by others in the industry, and he had just said, "Look, it costs me $300,000 to take a new person and bring them up to speed where I can have them be productive for me, or I can let you train them, and then for a $100,000 bonus, they'll come over to me because they've been not making a lot of money during their training period, and that seems like a lot of money. And the issue with poaching is, so what's to stop them from going to somebody else when they get the next best offer? So those are trade-offs.